Hi everyone, and welcome to the Mum Boss Method podcast. Oh, can't even say my own business name there. If you're listening on the podcast, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, even more welcome because you can see us. It's so great to have you here. I'm really excited to bring you this week's podcast because I have my lovely client Lisa with me. Lisa, say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Lisa and I have worked out that we met about a year ago. We had a call about a year ago, give or take. And she's been working with me since March 2022, which we can't believe. And one of Lisa's goals was to be a success story on my podcast. So, yay, goal achieved.
Tick.
Amazing. Tick, tick, done it. Lisa, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everyone who you are, what you do, how your life is, all of that stuff.
Okay, so I'm Lisa, I'm 44. I'm a single mum to two gorgeous kids that are 5 and 8, from Bristol. I don't know if you can tell by the accent, but yeah, from Bristol. I work part-time, but feel like it's full-time for the NHS. I love my job. I'm really passionate about what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so that's me, just a
Yeah.
busy mum.
You are a very busy mom, very busy mom. So let's jump right in and tell us about your life. What was going on for you before you came to me?
So if we go back about a year ago, I was at a point. Well, it's difficult because I need to go back 2 years because
That's okay.
before you, I was I got gone to see my GP. I was at my heaviest weight. I was 119 kilograms. I was unhappy. I was really depressed, sad all the time, breathless. I couldn't run around my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-diabetic, and I was just desperate and exhausted of the diet culture. I couldn't lose weight. I would try and try. I tried everything. So I went to my GP and begged for help. I knew that I would meet the criteria for the weight loss management service. So I kind of went in with that in my arsenal and just said, look, I know I meet the criteria, so you need to refer me. So I
Mm-hmm.
was referred to the weight management service as part of the NHS. And that I think is probably the beginning of my whole journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I started with help from a nutritionist through the NHS, and that was, I think, sponsored for 6 sessions. And then the psychological support came in, and again, you're funded for 6 sessions. And that was where I kind of learned that yes, I needed to lose weight, and I needed to lose weight to be healthy, but not to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I did. For me, the psychology side of it was the key that started to open the door a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I worked through self-compassion modules and all of those sort of things, which really, really helped. But again, like it's only funded for 6 sessions, and
Yeah.
I knew that I needed more. So I went through the whole process, and it was either you be a year later you be discharged, or you go on to the next tier, which would be weight loss surgery.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I work in the NHS. I don't want to be having a big operation that's going to have, that could have major complications that will affect my life and my children's. So for me, weight loss surgery was not something I wanted to consider, but it was in the back of my mind through that whole process. So
Mm-hmm.
that, I think, at that point, that's when I came across your page, and saw that, just sort of looked into it, looked into some of the testimonials that you had on your site, and just had a little read. And I could see that it was that your approach was a multifactorial approach to weight loss. It wasn't just nutrition and exercise. It was mindset. It was work on how you're feeling about yourself, and confidence building, and time management, and all the things that I knew that actually that's what I needed help with. That was the key to unlocking things for me. It wasn't just nutrition and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our first conversation that we had, I think I remember just feeling so desperate because I knew that I'd made a start on the journey, but I didn't know what the next step was for me, because I knew that I didn't want weight loss surgery, and I didn't want to I didn't feel ready to do this without support and help and education. I knew that I needed more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of where I was when we first met. I was not, I was desperate, but I was I was done with the fads and all the diets, and you know, your friend of a friend, oh, I know the next big diet that's going to work for you, and all of these things. And actually, none of it works unless you look at every aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so when you came and started working with me, you started on my 4-week program, didn't you?
Yeah.
What made you, so I know obviously you saw what I offer and how I work, but when we actually spoke, what was it that made you think, yes, I can do this with this person?
I think it was the whole approach for me, and the fact that you as an individual just got it. Life is busy, life is hard, and you have this way of helping me see, during that 4 weeks, just helping me see the little changes that I could make, just to make it just some improvements in my life, just to give me a bit more time, just to see actually the bits that were missing and maybe where I was going wrong. And you're a font of all knowledge. And during the 4 weeks that I had with you, it was just like, wow, this is the support group that we're part of, you know, the women that I met in that time, all from different backgrounds, but everyone just bringing a wealth of knowledge and support that helps everybody out. It was just a real, you felt like it's not a slimming group. It's not. And I think that's the biggest thing I could say to anybody. Don't come into this thinking I'm going to count points and calories and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and then I'm going to come out 10 sizes smaller. No, you're not. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh. You're going to get angry. You're going to be hurt and all of these things. But these are the things that you need to do to process and learn and develop. And that's just the 4 weeks that we did. That for me was like, right, this is the key. This is how I'm going to open the door fully to the life that I should be living.
Yeah, absolutely. And the community aspect is huge, and I'm sure we'll talk about that more. Our balmy bunch of women that we are. What has the experience of working with me been like? Because obviously you started on the 4-week program and you are now on your 3rd round of 16 weeks with me. So you can't get rid of me.
Don't want to.
So what has your experience of working with me been like in the program, in the Mum Boss method?
So for me, it's just that having that place where you can go, whether it's contacting you personally, through the group or the group community that we have. There's always someone there in your corner. No matter what, if you're having a really bad day, I know that I can reach out to you and say, Chrissy, my kids have driven at the wall. I've locked myself in the cupboard with a bottle of wine, and you get it. You're there. You're like, I get it. How are you feeling in that moment? Let's process it. Let's try and figure out, why is that a trigger for you? What's happening? What's causing this? And you just give me the tools to unpick these situations where before I'd be like, that's it. I'm just going to order a takeaway. I'm going to eat what I want. I've had enough and I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just having that. It's like you've got your Jimmy Cricket on your shoulder, and you're there, like my conscience is there talking to me. Little Chrissy on my shoulder saying, now Lisa, come on, take a breath. What is it you need to get out of this situation? What can you learn from it? Where can you go forward from this? It's not about food. It's not about hunger. Are you hungry? No, normally I'm not. It's not hunger. It's emotions.
Yeah.
And it's just having that person in your corner that can just give you that clarity when you need it. That bit where when someone just puts the light on, you go, oh right, oh yeah, no, it's okay, I'm all right. It's just that someone popping their hand on your shoulder and saying, it's all right, I've got you.
Yeah.
For me, that's priceless. That is something you get if you're lucky in a lifetime, and that's what I feel that I have with this group. I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever done.
Oh, that's amazing. And you've had loads of, no, I won't cry. You've had loads of firsts, haven't you, during the program,
Yeah,
like things
yeah,
that you've done for the first time ever. So what have you done?
So I wore a dress with no tights and no suck me in pants.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
did.
no scaffolding, holding everything in. And
Yeah,
I felt amazing in it. I felt
yeah.
absolutely fantastic. One of my goals was to wear a dress and trainers. I know it sounds a bit, I don't know, not a
No, it
big deal,
doesn't.
but for me it was, because I've always hidden in leggings and baggy tops and just not show my figure off for anything. So that for me, that was massive.
Yeah.
Just wearing that dress and just feeling great, and even wearing a red Dior lip. Like, I've never been the confident person that wants to stand out. You know, I've always blended into the background and just not really give my opinion. I keep my thoughts to myself and just get on with things.
Yeah.
Now I'm here and people are going to hear me, and I feel strong. I feel proud. Yeah, there's loads of things. Wearing
Yeah.
wet look leggings. I mean, what's that about? You know,
Do you know what? I forgot about the wet lip leggings and the red lipstick. That was
the
massive
red
when you
lipstick, that was
bought that.
massive for me.
Yeah, that was massive.
It was huge.
Also, you left Bristol.
I did,
You
and I
you
didn't even need
drove
a
somewhere
passport.
else. You didn't need a passport, did you?
No.
No.
And like, not only did I leave Bristol, I left Bristol to meet people that I'd only met online, and it weren't like a
Yeah.
dodgy date or anything. It was to do something social
No, it
with
was
friends.
us.
It was us. It wasn't some sort of weird hookup. But and you know, I remember coming to you and then going to this party feeling so anxious. I was shaking like a leaf going in there.
Yeah.
But I had one of the best nights of my lives. I didn't get drunk. When in
No.
those situations where I'm feeling really anxious, I drink really fast and end up steaming.
Yeah.
And then the beer fear kicks in the next day and you feel like absolute crap. So then you eat crap. None of that happened. None
No.
of that has happened since doing this and the growth that I've come through. Just pushing myself out of my comfort zone is massive for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And we danced a lot that night.
We danced, and we sang songs, the rude versions and the good version.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
We
There
did.
was we were back in the 90s.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
great, and it was with people I'd never met before. Never met before.
Yeah.
And and this is one thing you probably didn't realize was a big thing to me. To come into your house and eating food that you cooked for me, that would fill me with anxiety. Thinking, oh my God, what if there's not enough on my plate? What if I'm still hungry? What if she's going to judge me and think, crikey, she's eating a lot? Or all of those anxious thoughts were in my head the whole time. But I ate the food, I was full, and I still did it, even though I felt anxious.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all these little things that you take for granted. I think when I look back, I think, wow. And for me, I think one of the biggest things that I've done is I've come off of antidepressants now.
Yay.
I'm an antidepressant free zone, and that is massive for me because I've been on antidepressants probably on and off for 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it feels great.
Yeah. And it was amazing to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And you were discharged from the weight management service.
Yep. I had a phone call, another phone call appointment. I think it was about 3 months ago, from the was it dietitian? Yeah, dietitian, to say, you know, how are things going. They kept me on for a year longer because of COVID, so everything got an extra year through funding and things like that. And they were like, you know, we're at a point now where you either move on to the next tier or you're discharged. And I said, discharge me. I'm happy. You know, when I started that process, I was 119 kilograms. When they discharged me, I was 104. And I did that a little bit with them, but mainly with you helping me through this process.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's probably a really good point to bring up, actually. So yes, you've lost weight. And obviously, being pre-diabetic, this isn't just about the scales. This is about your long-term health as well.
Yeah.
What have the physical changes been for you? So we've obviously heard that you've pushed yourself outside your comfort zone. You've worn the wet leggings, you've worn the dress and the trainers, you've worn a dress and no tights, and no scaffolding. But what about the physical changes? What are you seeing? What are you doing? What is different?
Oh, there's so many things. So the first, in my face, I look at my face now and I think, she's all right. Look at her cheekbones. I can see the shape of my face. I'm not sat like this with trying to hide myself away anymore. I'm not. I sit proud. I walk, when I walk anywhere now, I'm not trying to blend in. I'm like, no, I'm here. Hello, hi. And my head's high. My head is high and I feel proud is the first thing. My collarbones. I didn't realize collarbones were sexy. I've got collarbones that are quite sexy, which sounds really silly, but to me, I'm like, have a look. It's the little things though, isn't it? My knickers. The knickers don't go under me smile anymore. They come up over it. I think I'm always going to have a little bit of a belly. I think, 2 C-sections and 2 kids, but that's fine. I like my belly. I like my curves, but I like it even more because I can tuck it in my knickers now instead of it rolling down. Today I'm wearing a bodysuit. Can you believe it? A bodysuit.
It's like we had a uniform as well. We've both got a bodysuit on.
We got the memo.
Yeah. You would never have worn something like that a year ago.
No, I would have had a big baggy hoodie on and or a t-shirt, oversized. When the oversized fashion came in, I was like, yes, finally, something I can get on board with. I was loving it, thinking I could carry on hiding all of this and hide behind these clothes. And now I don't need to.
No.
If I want to wear oversized, I'll wear it because I can.
Yeah.
But I like my curves. I like my body. For me, do you know what? The weight loss is great. It's great. I've still got a way to go. And that's fine. I'm not waiting to get to a certain size to be happy. I'm happy. I'm smiling. My smile is genuine. It doesn't feel fake anymore.
No. And what would you say?
For me, that's massive.
Yeah, it is huge. If I got the video of our first call and played it for you, if we watched that together, we should actually do that. It would be like two different people. Yeah. So what's the impact been on your wider life? So obviously we've heard that you've come off of your antidepressants and we know about the clothes and stuff, but what has this meant for your life in general?
So I'm a lot more active. I take my kids for a walk. I'll walk to the school and bring the kids home. They moan like hell. Sophia is not a walker. She's miserable. My legs are for playing, mummy, not walking, but I make her walk. And
brilliant.
My kids, I'm down on the floor playing with them, and it's not a struggle to get back up again. I'll run around and play football. We'll go to the park. We'll do a lot more. So my kids are seeing a healthier mummy, a happier mummy, a stronger mummy, because that for me is what life is about. It's about my children feeling happy, strong and supported and healthy with me, and knowing that I've got them no matter what.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. But even during when I'm at work and just doing my job, I'm not uncomfortable. I up and down on the floor, bandaging legs and things like that. And I used to get so tired and so breathless. And it is hard work. And I don't get me wrong. I walk out of there on a Wednesday when I've done a full clinic, and my back is an ass. But that's not only that's not my weight causing that anymore.
No, that's because that's
just because it's hard work.
Yeah,
it's hard work. And even though I'm doing the hard work, I make sure I pick a clinic room that's furthest away from the dressings cupboard so I can get my steps in and things like that. It's little changes that people have seen in me. And I've got colleagues that I work with and like, oh God, Lisa, you're inspirational. You've lost so much weight. How are you doing it? What are you doing? And I think people can see the difference in me. I'm happy. The weight, for me, like I said, the weight it's a big part of it, but it's not everything. I am happy, and I never thought I would ever be able to say that in life. I am happy. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with how I look, and life feels happy. It's bloody hard, but it's happy.
Yeah. And to get you to that happy, I'm just thinking, and probably going off, sorry to go off the questions I prepped you with, but
It's all right, don't
I've
worry.
challenged you hard at times, haven't I? And we've
You
had
have.
to dig deep into some of the
Mm,
stuff that goes on inside your head at times.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's something I always promise people: you're not always going to like me,
No,
but
there
you
are
will
times
love
when I was
me.
just like, oh, I completely adore you. Sometimes I think, oh my God, I'm going to punch her if I see her. But it's because you challenge me to acknowledge the things that have caused hurt and pain, and why does that hurt? Why, what's caused that? Where's that come from? Who's making you feel that way? And 9 times out of 10, yes, it's a response, but it's me that's making myself feel this way. And when you accept yourself with warts and all, with
Mm.
everything, that's when, for me, things changed. That I remember one of the group sessions we had, and we were doing a bit of journaling, and learning about journaling and all of those things, and the prompts and the questions, and I remember being quite quiet in that one. And you're like, are you okay? What's going on with you? And I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then when I feel challenged and I don't feel like I can take part, I joke. I make everything into a joke, because then it deflects it away from me. But you see through that. You see through my BS. Me trying to
Potty
not acknowledge
mouth.
what's I'm really.
I see through your
you,
potty mouth.
yes, did you see that? I did good then.
Yeah.
But you see through that. You see through all of that, and you make me challenge. And one of the biggest things I remember just being sat there, and you said, Lisa, do you feel that you deserve to be happy? And that moment for me floored me, because actually at that point, no, I didn't.
Mm.
I didn't feel that I deserved to be happy. I didn't feel the life that I wanted was the life for me, because that's not what happens to me.
Mm.
Life hasn't been easy. It's been hard work for me. I've had to work so hard for everything that I've got. And I'm sure lots of people have, no one's got it easy. But a lot of my behaviors in the past was because of my childhood and how I was raised, and the things that I'd seen and done. And just that, in that moment where you said, do you think you're worthy, or you're worth being happy? That was massive.
Mm.
And that, first of all, takes a brave person to ask somebody that question, and to be able to help someone process the answers and the whys and the everything that came from that, and done in such a supportive group, for me, was, I think, my turning point.
Mm.
It really was. That was the bit where I just thought, who gets to say when or why I'm happy? Who gets that power over me? Nobody. And you helped me see that. You helped me see that I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for how I feel and how I talk to myself, because I do talk to myself quite a bit.
Mm.
You gave me the tools to kind of see that, and then change my narrative.
Yeah.
And that was massive.
Yeah, it was a huge turning point. Do you deserve to be happy?
Yes, I do.
You do. You do.
Yes, I do.
Everyone does.
Everyone
Everyone
deserves
does.
happiness.
They do. They
Everyone, no matter
do.
what.
Yeah. And what are you excited about coming up for you?
Ooh. Can I say the retreat?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, do, so one of the big things for me with this as well is, I think, as busy mums, we don't make time for ourselves, and when we do, we feel guilty about it. And now I factor in time for myself. So the retreat for me is something that I'm looking forward to, because it is something just for me.
Yeah.
It will benefit my kids, because I'll come away from there feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, hopefully, not aching too much from the kitchen disco.
The kitchen disco was brilliant. We are
Are we
definitely
gonna have a
kitchen.
cheeky Edwin again?
Maybe. Maybe.
But you know, I'm looking forward to just having that me time, that space.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the big things that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to continuing on this journey, of sharing with other people how, I feel, and hopefully can help other people feel that way too.
Yeah. Because you're a senior
Share the
mum boss
positivity.
now. You're a
I
senior
am.
mum
I'm an
boss.
OG. I'm an
Yeah,
OG.
you are. You are. And the retreat, so last time you could only come for one night, but you're there for the full shebang
I
this
am.
time. You're
Oh,
bringing
yes.
your Reiki hands and your cards, aren't you?
Yeah. And my crystals.
Nice.
We'll all go and
Nice.
hug a tree and stick our
Yeah.
feet in some mud.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. Um, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you wrote in your 5 pages of notes in
Yeah,
preparation?
I did write a lot. Hang on, let me see. Let me see now. Let me have a little look. I think I've covered it. Have I? Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to say. This is a little something for you. So
Oh, oh
get your
God.
tissue. Get your
Okay.
tissue. So I sat there last night just with the questions that you gave me, and I just sort of sat with them and thought about it and thought, well, what has been the biggest thing for me? And so I know at this point I've still got work to do. I know that I am a work in progress, and that's okay. I accept that, and I'm happy that that's where I'm at. And with you, I couldn't have got to where I am today.
Mm.
So I think that you are a font of all knowledge. You're so intuitive. You're kind and supportive. You have this way of breaking down walls, and guiding you through your own journey of self-acceptance and improvement. And you've done that with me, bit by bit, just little Lego pieces at a time. You've helped me knock those walls down and then rebuild them in a way that is strong and lifting me up as a person. I know that my children and me were both so much happier because of this and because of you. And I can't wait to carry on making memories with my kids and seeing where life takes me. Like I don't need to make plans for my future because I'm living in the now. And that's what's important. And I would never have been in a place to say that. I used to be so anxious about the future, what it looked like for me. I'm not. I'm happy. My kids are happy. I eat what I want. I drink what I want. I track it. I enjoy it. And I just keep going. Consistency. That's the biggest thing that you've taught me, is being consistent, not just with what I'm eating and drinking, but with myself.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
I didn't cry, but I probably will do when I stop this. It's amazing to have you as part of the team, and I'm so pleased that you are, because you are the person that brings so many of us up with your jokes and your shares and your fuming and your rants and the love that you have for everyone. So thank you very much for being part of this group.
You.
And
Thank you.
that is, that's just so important to me that you're here. Thank you for giving up your time today.
No problem.
To share your story with everyone. You did brilliantly. I know you were a little bit nervous.
Yeah, my hands are still sweating.
Okay, that's fine. Everyone,
a little bit under my boobs as well.
Oh, okay, that's cool. We'll let you cool off soon. Everyone, this is Lisa. She's incredible, and I'm so grateful to have her in my life. And for keeping me going. You also know you've kept me going at some tough times as well. So thank you.
It's a two-way road, my love.
It is. Okay, everyone, that's Lisa's story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, share it on social media. Make her famous.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah. And we'll see. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.